For dark-skinned people, there is pressure to be lighter. Some go to extreme lengths to change.
The term colorism was first coined in 1982 by Pulitzer Prize-winning feminist author Alice Walker. She defined it as prejudicial or preferential treatment of same-race people based solely on their color. In the epic Mahabharata, Lord Krishna is a dark hero of non-Aryan native people. Interestingly, Indians prefer depicting the skin tone of Lord Krishna as blue in the place of black.
But forget animals, even gods cannot escape this discrimination in our country. You all know Lord Krishna. Krishna means dark. He is described in the Mahabharata as Neela Megha Shyama, which means as dark as the rain-filled cloud. Then why the hell do they show him everywhere to be sky blue in color? Like, how colorblind do you have to be to confuse the color of the cloud to the color of the sky?
Apparently, India never got over this bias. Look around and you'll see the signs. If you have dark skin, the world is bent on trying to make you at least 2 shades lighter, and the beauty industry is the biggest offender. New Indian Express entertainment reporter Gopinath Rajendran agrees.
I strongly believe there's a bias when it comes to skin color representation in the Indian film industry. This bias manifests itself in different forms, such as the characterization of a role, the lyrics of a song, or either the dialogues. For example, here in Tamil cinema, the female actors are often referred to everything white, and they're usually compared with a white flour or probably the moon or even milk at times. Whatever I've seen here in the Tamil film industry, they usually don't normalize dark skin. If they do, it's predominantly for comic relief, where they make fun of the skin tone. And when you think about what's happening now in 2019, what's happening is even for roles such as the ones from rural stories, where the characters are expected to be dark, we are using models from Mumbai and everywhere else who are obviously fair skin, and we go to an extent of even darkening their skin colors. There is double standard in skin color representation when it comes to male actors and female actors here in South. Heroes can be dark skinned. That is actually seen as a plus point here, I suppose, because most of the male actors from the South are dark skinned when compared to the counterparts who are mostly fair skinned.
It affects women more than men because men are supposed to be tall, dark and handsome. So there are many dark guys who flaunt saying, you know, I am tall, dark and handsome. A woman cannot say that I am dark and beautiful because the society will laugh at you.
I've come to a student area to meet someone who's trying to look lighter. This is Jeff, a 19-year-old marketing student. He tells me he's been using skin bleaching creams for 2 years. And it's worked out for you?
Yeah, let me show you the before.
Whoa, that's totally different. It's like a different person.
Yeah.
What did you not like about this?
When I compare myself to now, I feel like I'm more appealing now.
Why?
Because I'm lighter. Yeah.
It's Friday and it's party night.
So it's the college life.
Hey, excuse the mess. This is where...
Where all the magic happens?
Yeah.
Jeff's getting ready for a big evening.
Okay, I have a little something I mix every night before I go out with the skin.
Oh, it's lemon bait.
Yeah, and then I just mix it all together.
He mixes lemon, sunscreen, and lemon bait, a cream many South Africans use as a skin lightener, even if its packaging makes no such claim.
Yeah, then I'm good. First saw it in an advert. Then, yeah, I bought it. I started getting lighter and I just continued using it. The lighter the better, I think.
After 300 years, Spain relinquished its sovereignty over the Philippines to the Americans. Native Filipinos were no longer considered as slaves. Along with their newfound freedom was a desire to present themselves in a new way. Now, 500 years after colonization, The belief that a fairer skin is tied to socio-economic superiority carries on, and the demand for skin lighteners is insatiable.
Being brown is associated with dirt, with poverty, with a lack of hygiene even. And when you tell people that, when you tell a whole populace that on a daily basis, it gets to their skin, it gets to them. It gets into their psyche, and so they start hating themselves.
Today, everywhere you turn, Filipinos are encouraged to whiten.
This is a modeling shoot for an Indian company that sells traditional Indian clothes to the Indian market.
Nice to meet you. Your makeup looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Where are you guys from?
Ukraine.
Ukraine, okay.
The strange thing here, there are no Indian models.
I don't know, I'm looking through the catalog. I'm wondering, why don't they use Indian women?
There is a lot of amazing Indian models, you know?
Yeah.
Who working like in Paris, in New York, you know?
But they don't work in India. But they don't work in India.
Everything about skin.
Everything's about skin?
I think so.
Why aren't there Indian models?
Indian model is not fair like this much. They want the fairer look only. Just little bit touch of Indian look.
It's just not about a society, it's your own family who has been starting blaming you since a very young age. My mom has always been like taunting me for saying like, you are so black that you won't ever get a guy, you are so black you won't ever get a job, do this, use this cream, use this homemade remedy just to look brighter. I'm like, why? Why can't I feel beautiful the way I am?
How does this trend start?
It has definitely to do with globalization, to be honest with you.
I think it started with the caste system because because that comes way before globalization. That is when I think it all started, because the darker skin tones were considered untouchables, and from there it started and it kept growing, and the Brahmins were usually fair, and I think that is where it roots from.
There's a Snow White, there's a Cinderella who need not be very brave or self-dependent, but she's beautiful. So it's about how we are brought up, the kind of people we are surrounded with, the movies we see, the cartoons we see. That's the basic thing that is carried on forward.
When India got colonized and all, and the British people came, and they were basically all white, and they looked down upon us like these are colored people, and they are not good. They started the racism, I feel, because until then everyone was same and no one was considered black or white. But until you have some standard to match, then they considered themselves superior. So all others became inferior.
Steve Biko was in court. He's charged with basically, being seen as a threat to the apartheid system, and he was banned. So he's in court talking to the European judge, the Boer British judge, and the judge says to him,
"Why call yourselves black? I mean, you people are more brown than black."
And Biko says,
"Why do you call yourselves white? You people are more pink than white."
And the judge goes,
"Precisely."
But there's no deeper unpacking of what just occurred. And it raises an important question about systems of oppression. Why did Europeans decide to designate themselves as white? More specifically, English-speaking Europeans, because the term white is an English term. When you know why they chose the term, then you know what they sought to gain by it. When you also see that they leveled the term black against us, Asiatics, Africans, Asians, then you know what they sought to gain by imposing that on us.
A lot of people think that we in the West have been extremely generous in the amount of foreign aid that we provide to the developing countries, and particularly to Africa. Globally, our estimate is that the amount of money flowing out of developing countries is 10 times the amount of foreign aid flowing into developing countries.
It is always a challenge for the embodied soul to identify correctly as a spiritual being. The problem is that we have identified with this body. And according to the political systems, the historical injustices, the conditionings, then we begin to hate ourselves, not knowing that it is more than just skin deep. We are actually the spark of life within the part and parcel of Krishna. So we are seeing here that populations have been made to feel very inferior, to be insecure about the skin that they wear. But when we hear from the Bhagavad Gita and from the realized souls, we get to understand that we are that spark of life. In fact, that part and parcel of Krishna, of God. That is what is attractive within each living being. No matter what race one is from, as soon as the soul has left the body, no one wants to deal with that body. Even relatives don't want to look at it or touch it or keep it in the home. So what must be understood beyond just the systems that have come in place and the different groupings who are identifying with their bodies and their own struggle for power on the planet is that we don't belong in these bodies, nor do we belong in this temporary world. We belong in the spiritual world, and for that, don't worry about what skin color you have. Worry about the color of your consciousness. Is it becoming God conscious, loving consciousness, or it is material consciousness, greedy, lusty, angry consciousness? We want to cleanse the mirror of the heart so we can see ourselves as we are, as eternal, blissful parts and parcels of God. So thank you for watching this video, and please try not to be affected by colorism, by identity politics, by hating bewildered, conditioned souls. So see you in the next one. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. It's always a pleasure bringing you these videos. Hare Krishna.